All right, so we got what if the hold up, can I not read? What if the loyal clone of Fulgrim returned to the Imperium? Let's go.
G'day guys and gal. No one quite knows how to tease like Games Workshop. They introduced
Man, yo, they be gatekeeping of doom. Yo, they gatekeep everything. Man, yo, they so like picky and choosy of what they want you to see. It's nasty work. But hey, they be having y'all on the hook though, which is kind of a good thing, but at the same time, bro, I feel like they so gatekeepy. It's crazy.
amazing, super interesting stuff into the lore that has a ton of potential plot points and lore implications before then just throwing it off a bridge with some cement tied to its feet. The loyal clone of Fulgrim is the biggest example of this. Fabius literally creating the perfect Primarch clone of Fulgrim, Fulgrim without the baggage, the Fulgrim that could have been if there was no Laer blade, but then proceeded to lock him in Tzeentch's museum where he will never be mentioned again.
So wait a minute. Yo, I think we heard of something like this before. And yo, that Fabius dude, bro, he is such a school threat. It's crazy, bro. Bro's a school sniper. Yo, how, first of all, how can you even create like Primarch clones and stuff? How can you? Yo, have y'all seen his hairstyle? Which is pretty expected. Like he look like a mad scientist. The fact that he can even create like a Primarch clone is absolutely diabolical, bro. Man, it's crazy.
But what if Fulgrim slipped the noose and escaped from Fabius? What if he reached the Imperium, reached Guilliman or the Lion? Would he be accepted or killed on sight?
Nah, yo, listen. If he actually reached Vulcan, bro, we'll really accept you. The Lion's a hater, so you know he might try to go for you, whatever. I think G Thug, I like G Thug a lot. I feel like G Thug, he'll accept you, bro. You know, most of us would accept you. The hating, you know, just weirdos like the Lion. He'll try to fight you, you know, on some just stupid ish.
What would his goal be? Who would he hunt? How would he redeem himself? After all, if GW isn't going to give us a satisfying Clone Grim story, then you bet your ass I will.
Yeah,
before we get started, this is your last chance to pick up the 20. Now let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's set the scene. So,
yo, are you serious, yo? Oh my god. I'm messing all the way up.
Fabius. Seeing Fabius as his father figure, as in canon, he swears to right the wrongs of his now demonic self and make amends. Interestingly enough, as a clone, he retains the memories of what he was cloned from, meaning he remembers the fall to chaos he had, but without the Laer blade. He finds it disgusting. However, despite this, Fabius begins to get worried about his clone Grim and his pride, believing his creation will end up following the same path of the true Fulgrim and making shit bad, as the galaxy would end up with 2 rape snakes, something not even Fabius was cool with. However, in this tale, Clone Grim senses something is wrong and is able to avoid.
What does he mean by that? Can somebody fill me in, yo? Can somebody fill me in like a dot or like a circle? What's going on? What? So we're just not gonna talk about what he just said? What that mean? Yo, I'm sorry if I don't know what that means.
In stasis beam.
Our worst
he
snakes
uses
is
his
crazy.
blinding speed to begin to flee, shocked at Fabius's betrayal. Tzeentch activates his capture protocols that he uses for escaped exhibitions, but this is a fucking Primarch he is dealing with. Fulgrim had a very intelligent, inventive, and analytical mind before he became a junkie. It was a big reason why he and Ferris became so close. He is able to analyze the Necron tech around him and interpret it, looking out for traps or oncoming enemies. He would fight his way through the Necrons and reach Fabius's ship. Fabius would be standing there, blocking his path. Fabius would say, "My son, I did this for the good of the galaxy. You are falling down the same path as Fulgrim. You would have become damned and joined him in hell, blighting the galaxy with not 1 but 2 demon Fulgrims. I cannot allow it."
Look at him, yo, look at his whole hey, everything right hey, this whole thing right here, hey, look at me. This whole thing right here, missing. This whole thing right here, gone. He just he just got hey, he just got these right here. He got these just sewed in. He just got these just, this is his last hope. He might as well just go bald. I don't even know why he got I don't even know why he got the hair just glued in like these. Yo, just cut it off. You're done. Yo, once this whole thing right here go missing, just disappear like magic, like Houdini, let it go. Let it go. Yo, this is irrelevant. All these things right here, just irrelevant. What are you doing? And then he has no eyebrows. Man, yo, somebody come get their cousin, man. This is ridiculous. Man, yo, he looked like a whole nother level of just crazy. Let these go. Talking about, yo, we knew he was a mad scientist just off his looks. We didn't even, yo, I promise you, Majorkill didn't even have to, he didn't even have to break his whole character down. We knew he was a menace. Look at the haircut, man. And listen, I know people go bald or whatever, but yo, once somebody go bald and they got these, bro, they usually cut them off. Yo, Fabius, do us all a favor. We know you're a school threat. We know you're a school sniper. Bro, we know you're on FBI's most wanted list. Bro, still let this go. Need a new look.
Clongrim would square up to his father and say, "That is not your choice to make, father. I will make amends. I will make things right." Before Fabius could reply, Clongrim moves at blinding speed, bisecting Fabius and running past his dying body. As Fabius can transfer his consciousness to new hosts, he isn't too bothered by this, but it means Clongrim can make good on his escape.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you telling me, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. So you telling me this clone Fulgrim, you telling me that he basically just A-trained Fabius? If y'all know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, bro. Like one of the first scenes of The Boys. Y'all know what A-Train did to that girl. Man, flew crazy. You telling me he basically did that to Fabius?
He leaves Tzeentch's museum tomb.
Yo, like you really telling me that he basically just like ran past Fabius and just destroyed his whole body?
New men in tow, them being loyal to him as they became friends as Fabius's creations, and also because Fulgrim is extremely hard not to love, especially the uncorrupted version. I mean, fuck, even Conrad Curse liked him. With his escape secured, Clongrim knew he needed resources to make things right. He would need to purge the corruption from the Emperor's children, slay his original self, and make up for the pain he has caused. He could either try to do this from the shadows, creating a renegade sub-faction working against chaos but hiding from the Imperium, or he could face judgment and try to convince the Imperium of his allegiance. The boring option is to wage the guerrilla war, as he would gather a number of Space Marine chapters to him and strike out against the Emperor's children raids in an attempt to eventually lure or reach the original Fulgrim.
Hey, one thing I'm gonna say about Fulgrim's, one good thing I'm gonna say about him, because we all know, like, Fulgrim, he's diddy-fied, he's done, like, he's just, we know he's a freakster, right? One thing I'm gonna say about Fulgrim is, bro, he always had good armor, bro. The way his armor looked, man, with the purple color, hey, I'm not a hater, bro. His armor is fire, bro. I would listen. One thing that my mama never taught me was to be a hater. No, she never taught me that. I just lied to y'all. I taught me that. Yo, wait a minute. I taught me that. Hold up. Yo, like, I give credit to my mama, but like, hold up. I just lied. My mama never taught me that. I taught me that. Yo, one thing that I taught myself was, never be a hater, bro. Never be a hater. Yo, being a hater, what's the point? Like, it's just weird at that point. Yo, the Diddyster, the Freakster, man, he got some good armor, bro. Armor fire.
To be fair, wouldn't be that hard, as the Slaaneshi demons once said that Fulgrim would be very mad if he found out that he had a perfect uncorrupted clone. So let's go with the fun option, facing Guilliman himself. Fulgrim would need to get on a solid warp-capable craft, likely a rogue trader. He would track down a rogue trader and use his new men to make contact. They would convince the curious trader to meet with their master. The rogue trader would meet Clongrim and be confused, terrified, and fascinated. Clongrim would use his Primarch aura and intense charisma to convince the rogue trader of his cause. The trader would eventually agree and take him to Terra. The rogue trader would also fill Clongrim in on the events of the galaxy, such as the return of Guilliman and the Great Rift, as well as the fall of Cadia and everything else worth knowing. Clongrim would be shitting bricks. What should he say to the brother he killed?
Hey, what should I say to her? What should I say to her, yo? My mind. Now, I'm not gonna act fake. We have seen her a few times, in these videos and stuff like that. But what are we gonna say to her? What am I gonna say to her? Man, bro, she's fine as wine, yo. Does anybody know who this lady is? Yo, I need answers pronto. Okay, you could comment down in the comments down below. She looks like a rogue trader. I mean, babes, I'm a rogue trader too. Yo, we could both trade things. Hey, as a matter of fact, just to show you, that I really, like your style and stuff like that, I could trade you some things for free. I could give you some things for free. You don't even have to, trade me nothing else. Like, hey, here, bro, here's a planet. Like, that's what I would do to you. Like, just let me know her name, y'all.
The brother who hates him with every fibre of his being. Fulgrim was seen as the most depraved degenerate there was. Clone Grim realizes he cannot ask for an audience, as his ship would either be destroyed or taken, him thrown in chains and seen as some kind of trick or warp craft, likely to be executed or locked away forever in the dark cells. No, he needed to have an audience with Guilliman alone. He would arrive in the Sol system and send private messages to Guilliman, keeping his identity a mystery, but insinuating he was a lost loyalist Primarch, returned to the fray but requesting a private meeting. He would share things that only Guilliman had shared with his brothers, stuff that he maybe said in the presence of Fulgrim amongst other Primarchs, or stuff Fulgrim had heard from his brothers. Clone Grim would request that due to the unstable Imperial situation, it needed to be a private meeting. Guilliman would agree. Now you might think I'm a bit retarded for saying G-Man would be down, but you gotta remember that in current lore, Guilliman is really fucking depressed and he longs for his lost brothers. He often thinks about them and wishes they would return. So for a chance to meet another one, he would jump at it. Guilliman arrives at the meeting point. Clone Grim approaches in a cloak. Guilliman can't quite make out who it is. Maybe the lion with the long light hair. Then Clone Grim removes the cloak and falls to his knees. He only manages to say, "Brother," before Guilliman is charging, Emperor's sword alight with flame. Guilliman swings the sword for Clone Grim's neck. Clone Grim looks at him in the eyes, unflinching. If this is how he's to meet his fate and make atonement, then so be it. Just as the sword falls to end Clone Grim's life, Guilliman looks his brother in the eyes. They stare at each other for a second. Guilliman seeing the eyes of his true, uncorrupted brother, eyes he hadn't seen for over 10,000 years, free of malice or corruption. The sword stops a flick of a dick of away from Clone Grim's neck, Clone Grim letting out a barely perceptible breath. Guilliman says with clenched teeth, "What is this? Who are you? Why can I not even sense any corruption upon you?" Clone Grim would explain himself, his creation, his memories, and his desire to make amends.
Dang, so bro, even G-Thug was like, "Yo, bro, who are you, bro? Like, yo, even my freakster of a brother, I'ma feel something, bro. I'ma feel some type of corrupt nastiness. Yo, you're clean as a whistle. Nah, you can't be my brother. What's going on?" Hey, G-Thug, you're smart. I like that a lot.
The fact that without the Laer blade there is no corruption, and that he is ready to take the head of the original Fulgrim. Now, Primarchs are pretty good at detecting lies and falsehoods, especially when they're staring into each other's eyes. Rabute summons forth his librarians, who scry Clone Grim's mind, Clone Grim letting them in without resistance. They confirm his story.
Yo, so G-Thug was like, "Yo, hey, yo, bro, come check him out, bro. Check it, yo, scan his whole thing." The librarian came through and said, "All right, yo, I got you, G-Thug." Yo, ran his mind and everything. He said, "Man, it all checks out."
Then the Sisters of Silence are brought in, and they impose their full blankness upon Clone Grim, yet he remains as he is. Since if he would
Damn, yo, he put him through like 5 tests.
was a changeling or some kind of warp spawn, he wouldn't be able to maintain his facade in their presence. Guilliman is torn on what to do. He is a returned loyal brother, but it's fucking Fulgrim. He decides that Clone Grim must stand in front of their father, as he has, in order to know Clone Grim's purpose.
GG's. 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 Bro, he said, all right, cool. Yo, I'm gonna have my librarian check you out. Librarian checked him out. Oh yeah, he good. He said, all right, cool. Yo, Sisters of Battle, come here. Come here, yo, come here, Miss Thickness. She checked him out. Oh yeah, he's good, my lord. He said, all right, cool. You 2 for 2. Yo, I'm gonna need you to stay in front of my dad. Yo, he knows. He knows 1,000% if you're lying out or if you're a clone or whatever. He knows.
The Custodes are initially against this, but the Emperor himself tells them to allow the audience via their dreams.
Yeah, come here,
Clone Grim is taken to the Emperor, the biggie sparkling to life in a flurry of energy and emotion. Clone Grim feels his father's rage, disgust, loss, pain, regret, sorrow, but most powerful of all, hope. Hope that his lost sons can be returned to him and redeemed, that his vision for mankind isn't entirely lost. Clone Grim has become this unexpected variable. However, the Emperor sees that the galaxy will not rest while there are 2 true Fulgrims. One must be destroyed. The Emperor tasks Clone Grim with this goal, to slay his original self and in doing so, redeem himself and the memory of his legion. To aid him, the Emperor gives Clone Grim 2 things. First is his bolter, each bullet containing the power to permanently slay a demon, and he also conjures forth a flaming anguish dreadnought, Rylanor Reborn, to act as Clonegrim's living weapon and a reminder of his purpose. Should Clonegrim stray from his path, Rylanor would be there as the Emperor's avatar to destroy him. Yes, I know that's a stretch, but fuck you, Rylanor is dope, and him returning for this what if is a must. Guilliman tells Clonegrim that while he wishes him luck, he cannot announce him to the Imperium or directly aid him, as it would cause too much chaos and controversy. However, Guilliman does say that upon looking at Imperial records, there are at least 2 chapters he should look into contacting: the Death Eagles and Sons of the Phoenix. The Death Eagles being founded by Emperor's children loyalists who survived the heresy, with the Sons of the Phoenix appearing to be Belsarius Kull having a bit of a laugh and using Emperor's children gene seed to create loyalist Primaris chapters. Perhaps other chapters using Emperor's gene seed would also be uncovered. Clonegrim would unite them in purpose, his own micro-legion setting off. His goal would be to lure Slutgrim out of his eternal masturbation in order to try permakill him with the Emperor's bolt gun. This is where the story could branch off in a million ways. Honestly, it would make for a great fucking series.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. It would. I can't lie to you. I was actually drawing in right there. No lie.
Clonegrim striking out against the corrupt Emperor's children. The Emperor's children being shocked that their gene father is attacking them at the head of a loyalist army. Eidolon would strike back and create an interesting conflict, similar to the Lion's new novel, Son of the Forest, where he unites the Fallen to take on Seraphax, a Chaos Sorcerer Fallen, but this time it's Clonegrim taking on Eidolon. It would actually be such a therapeutic story. Traitor Emperor's children are such pieces of shit. Every time one of them dies or is humiliated, I literally cum my pants. Imagine Clonegrim taking on and killing Eidolon via decapitation. That would be so poetic. He can then take on Lucius, Julius Caesar, and so on, purging his legion of its guilt and taint until they are reborn, like the motherfucking Phoenix. Maybe in their journey they even encounter the Lion, a tense greeting, but with the Lion also wishing to make amends for his mistakes and aiming to be less aggressive, it could end quite wholesomely. It would end with Clonegrim vs Fulgrim, with Rylanor getting to stare his traitorous father in the face one last time. I won't say who I think would win or who
I think the original Freakster, the Diddyfied, the Oil Eater, the Diddyfied Fulgrim will win. Yeah. I think Diddy 7.0. Oh my bad, sorry, that's Slaanesh. I think Diddy 5.0 Fulgrim, I think he will win. No lie. I think he's packing him up, no lie.
Should win. That would defeat the fun. Would Clonegrim vanquish his original form, pumping him full of righteous lead and becoming the redeemed Fulgrim? Or would the original Fulgrim triumph, claiming the soul of his clone and sending Rylanor back to the warp, ending the road of redemption for the Emperor's children and re-entering the setting as a wrathful being dedicated to the destruction of the Imperium? It's just a damn shame that Josh Reynolds, the creator of Clonegrim, said he was just used as a plot point for Fabius and he would never return. Josh would then go on to leave the Black Library. But in saying that, GW does love money, so maybe one day they will dust off Clonegrim and let him out of his cell, giving us the most epic comeback story in all of Warhammer 40k. If you enjoyed the video and you want to
shout out to our boy West Ham. Oh, I said West Hammer. Yo, my bad for the disrespect, man. Shout out to our boy Majorkill, man, for this video. The reason I said West Hammer is because we do got a West Hammer video coming up right after this. So I was just actually thinking of West Hammer just now. But I actually like this video, y'all. I like how here's what I think. I think the Emperor would have definitely, because this isn't like a real story, right? Like Majorkill basically just made this up, right? Then he's like say that at the beginning of the video. Then he basically was like, yo, there isn't like an actual like story about this, so I'm just fill this in basically. I'm gonna keep it real. That does sound like a cool scenario, you know, if it was to happen. I think the Emperor would have definitely clocked if that wasn't his son. But maybe that's just me, you know. Other than that, man, comment down below. What do you guys actually think about this? This is very interesting, man. Comment down below. You know, who's your favorite Primarch? What about that one? And yo, before y'all say, oh, bro, you're a lion hater, because y'all was saying that in the last video. I'm not a lion hater, bro. I'm just telling the truth. You know, me telling the truth about, you know, a Primarch or whatever is not me lying about him. I mean, I just gotta tell the truth for what, you know, what it is, bro. The lion, bro, he's not clutch. He's not made for the clutch, but that's it. We all know that Vulcan is better than the lion. Take that of what you will. And yeah, other than that, man, comment down below. What do you guys think about this one? Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also, man, make sure you guys follow my socials down below. I'm gonna see y'all next time out. Peace out.